Friends, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know when I say we're in a class war. But the controlled media has divided it into conservative and liberal. When you pull back from that, you learn that there are big foundations, multinational corporations, think tanks, libertarians and conservatives, private corporate groups and others that for the last 100 years have been meeting in large conferences discussing aligning their interest to bring in a corporate government, pushing their agenda on those of us, the producers. That said, we talk a lot about the class war, and we talk about how we're having big victories fighting mainstream news. But I've talked also a lot about the fact that most propaganda is in movies, is in fiction television, fiction novels. We have to focus more and more on the propaganda, on the messages. And when you look at the messages that dominate the so-called spectrum of fiction that's being pushed by the big six media companies, it's anti-socialism, it's anti-communism. People are really tired of what's happening. They're tired of the fascism that comes from both parties. They see the same stuff in Europe. They're upset. Now, I've already said most of this. What I'm getting at is that there's a class war going on. The capitalists pump out all this mindless confusion and garbage and infighting so that people just tune out and don't have any hope. I'm here to tell you there's major hope. And we have to realize how popular the anti-capitalist, pro-human movement is. The New Enlightenment. It's here. So here's what I'm getting at. I've talked a lot about following Mao tactics. You need to invade these corporate systems and then push their traffic back towards your alternative site. It's time for us to stand up and shrug this off our shoulders and to be proud that we're building a new culture. The capitalists don't want you to have a culture. They want you to just have no culture, be afraid, watch TV, and let them program you. I'm saying be your culture, be yourself, really produce what comes from your heart. Produce art, produce literature, stand up, believe in yourself. Don't let Madison Avenue tell you you're junk. They always make you feel inadequate, then they sell you their solution that will make you adequate. And again, that just ties back into this point that we're supposed to be losers, we're supposed to be underground, we're supposed to not be successful. I cannot tell you the success I've had, the people we've touched because of you spreading the word and others. And now it's just reached a crescendo level where so many incredible, enlightened people that are involved in so many good causes, but haven't gone to the next level of really being public about what they truly believe because they know the public's been dumbed down into a controlled paradigm. Well, the answer is fighting back against that paradigm and just saying, I don't care if a bunch of people don't understand it. I don't care if a bunch of people get confused by it. I'm not going to be bullied anymore, and I'm going to put out complex info to raise the dialogue. The capitalists admit, they've had a great frontline piece on this years ago about a feedback loop, where they put garbage out on purpose to dumb the debate down. It's not we're dumb, so they dumb the debate down. Now we've reached that level. Mission accomplished to a certain extent. We've hit the bottom, now let's go back up. But before it was dumb the message down to dumb you down. The message is the medium versus the medium is the message. It's both, but they dumb it down to make you dumb until you accept it, until you're immersed in it as a weapon against your free will. And we're going to lose our future, we're going to lose our humanity, we're going to lose it all if we don't say no to this fraudulent system. There's just so many amazing people that are awake. And then I think about when I was on a plane years ago flying to be on The View. I'll say this in closing. And there's the head, he knew who I was, sitting right beside me in first class, the head of one of the major banks, one of the biggest, top 5. And I'm like, is this who I think it is? And then he figures out who I am, and we have like an hour discussion. It was a 3-hour flight to New York, but we only really talked the last hour. And I've told the story many times, but just to paraphrase it, he just said, you don't get it. Humanity does evolve. You think they'll evolve and adapt and overcome what we're doing to them. He said, humanity will adapt to being enslaved. You don't get it. We slowly enslave you. That's why we do it slow, so you adapt and learn to submit to that, and then you love it. And he said the corporations are going to govern the planet, and we know how to do it best. And he was cynical, and he had his jacket, suit on perfect, like it was a mannequin. He got up, put on his perfect, he was like a robot, and looked at me disdainfully and laughed as he walked off that plane in front of me. And that's who those people are. They don't have faith in humanity. Well, I do. They're only strong because we've laid down. It's time to awaken and come out of the coma.